Welcome back, guys. It's time to see what is parallel execution in TestNG. So I have opened a page on TestNG documentation where I will go through parallel test classes and methods. The parallel attribute on the suite tag can take one of these three values. First is the methods, second is the test, third is the classes. Instances we will be seeing in a later video. In this video I am going to demonstrate what it means by parallel methods and parallel classes. So let's go to our test. Let's close this window. In this test I am just going to run first one class and then I am going to run two classes. My second test I have created as a copy of first test. I have just changed some sysouts in that second test. So let's see what is in our first test. I have removed all the dependencies. I have just put @test in first test, and if you notice, this will run as per alphabetical order if it is run through TestNG XML. Now I have this TestNG XML with me. What this TestNG XML will do is it will execute this first test class and it will execute all the tests in a sequential manner. Let's see how it executes. So what I have done in the first test is, I will show it to you. I have just given a sysout of the ID. What is this ID? I have put a long ID as thread.current_thread.getID. So this will print out the ID of the thread that is executing. If there is just one thread, only one ID will get printed. If there are two threads, two IDs will get printed, but the order of allocation of those two IDs will be different, as you will see in a couple of minutes now. So next, in the TestNG XML, I have put the thread count as, let's put the thread count as 2 first. This will indicate how many threads will run in parallel at a time. First we will see parallel equal to methods, and then we will see parallel equal to classes. Okay, so let's run this test. Nothing has changed. I have just changed the dependencies in first test. I have removed those dependencies and I have just put @test, and here I have put the first test class, and I have mentioned as parallel equal to methods and thread count equal to 2. Let's see how this works out. I right click on TestNG XML, run as, and then TestNG suite. So you should see two thread IDs getting printed, but the order of allocation of those two thread IDs will be different. Okay, I have not saved this file. Excuse me. Okay. Now I will run it again. As you can see, login, registration, reservation and checkout have executed, and you can see two thread IDs, one is 10 and one is 11. So checkout executes in a different thread than login, registration and reservation. Login, reservation and registration are executing in a single thread sequentially, and checkout is executing in a parallel fashion. If you run this again, you will get a different different IDs. Like you might get 10 for checkout, 10 for login, 10 for reservation and 11 for registration. So it might differ if you run it again. So this ID is what indicates a single running instance. Now this I have explained you for methods. So whatever methods are there, they are getting executed in two threads. Now let's see what classes means. And one more thing I would like to show you. Currently I have put the thread count as 2. If I put the thread count as 3, let's see what happens. Right click, run as, TestNG suite. Now you will see 3 thread IDs. There you go, 10, 11 and 12. So now checkout 1, registration 1, login, reservation. Login and reservation are getting executed in a single thread ID. They are getting executed sequentially, and in parallel we are getting the execution of registration 1 and checkout 1. If you put 4, then all the 4 will get executed in different thread IDs. Now it's time to see how classes work. Okay, so you just put classes over here. Thread count we will put as 2, and I will just uncomment this. So now second test will also get executed, and these results will also get printed along with the IDs. Let's see our results. We will execute that testng.xml. Okay, there you go. Two IDs have got printed, 10 and 11. Checkout 1, login 1, registration 1 and reservation are getting executed in the same ID, same thread, and second checkout 1, second login 1, second registration 1 and second reservation 1 are getting executed in a different thread ID. So in short, both the classes are getting executed in parallel. That's why it is allocating a single thread for each of the class. So that explains how it works for classes. Now it's time to explain how it should work when I just put it as methods and I execute two classes. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so now we get login 1, registration 1, reservation, second checkout 1, second login 1 executing in a single thread, and checkout 1, second registration 1 and second reservation getting executed in a different thread. So it depends how you want your test cases to get executed. If you want by methods, and if you want certain methods to get executed in a single thread and certain methods to get executed in a different thread, you can do that. But this particularly helps you when you want to execute parallelly. When you want to open two instances of Chrome, say, in your test, then you can use this kind of parallel equal to methods or parallel equal to classes as per your requirement. So that's about all for this lecture. In the next lecture, I will try to cover parallel equal to, what do we have left? Parallel equal to tests. So let's see if I can do it right now itself. Alright guys, I have changed this XML so that I can show you how it executes for parallel equal to tests. Now I have put all the 4 methods in a different test. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. In test 1 I have put registration method, in test 2 I have put login, in test 3 I have put reservation, and in test 4 I have put checkout. If you can see over here. So now our test will execute as parallel equal to test. Let's see. Let me warn you, we will get different outputs every time. So the thread IDs may differ. So let me run this and show it to you. So we are running it now and it has run. So it has run successfully, and let's see our execution. So this time we are getting login 1 and reservation executing in a single thread, and registration and checkout executing in a single thread. Sometimes we may get different results, but what this basically will do is it will execute the test in parallel. It will pick up randomly the test and it will execute in parallel. That's why our login 1 and reservation, since they were in different tests, they got executed in parallel, and registration 1 and checkout 1 were in a different test, they got executed in parallel. Now let me execute this once again and show it to you. Okay, So again we get a different result. Registration 1 and reservation are getting executed in a single thread, and login 1 and checkout 1 are getting executed in a single thread. So depending on the sequencing, it will execute the test, but this is just to show you how it will execute for parallel equal to tests. So it will pick up the tests one by one and it will decide which one to execute parallelly. So two tests will execute parallelly since we have given the thread count as 2. That's all folks for the parallel session, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.